Hello, my name's Julie Williams, Registered Migration Agent with Migration Downunder. If you're an employer of a temporary worker, then you're probably asking a lot of questions of what am I going to do? Because as all businesses are facing different challenges, such as especially the tourism and hospitality industry, which you've effectively been shut down, as well as other businesses that are perhaps experiencing a downturn in business because of the current circumstances with COVID-19, you're probably wondering, what are you going to do with your temporary workers? Well, there is no obligation with temporary workers such as student visa holders, where there is working holiday makers, 400 visa holders. There is no obligation, but there are more obligations with a 482 or a 457. If you are working in the aged care sector, there is allowances for those on student visas to work longer hours than the current restriction of 40 hours a fortnight to assist with the current crisis. But the more pressing question that we see that we're facing is what happens to your 482, 457 holders, especially if you're a business that have currently got the perfect team and we're just sort of working very well together, and all of a sudden you've found that the business has had to close. You can stand down the 457, 482 holders, and probably the best option at this stage is to put them on unpaid leave. So when the crisis is over, and if they have been loyal and if they are a key part of your business, then you can then resume as was normal or was previously when the crisis does get resolved. The unpaid leave, I know it's going to be a struggle for those actual visa applicants. Perhaps they can take their annual leave and then take a sort of unpaid leave. The obligations for you as an employer, you must have a signed agreement in place, a written agreement between both yourselves and the employee, that you're agreeing to unpaid leave and what the length of that unpaid leave will be. Currently, if you're a 482 holder, it's a maximum of 3 months, except under exceptional circumstances. A little bit longer if you're a 457 visa holder, because that's up to 12 months. But exceptional circumstances, I think you'd agree, would be our current circumstances that we find ourselves in with COVID-19. So therefore, the government are going to be lenient with that unpaid leave until, I guess, the lockdown is over. The problem being is, how do your visa holders survive? That's a really difficult question. I know the government are looking into ways to support them and perhaps in some form of social security benefit. Naturally, the Australian workers, permanent resident citizens, the government are putting first, but they are taking into consideration the very large number of temporary skilled workers out there, because there is at least 120,000 out in the workforce today. You do, if you are terminating employees, then everyone is under the same employment law. You've got to be able to consider that. If there is a termination, it has to be done as it always has been done. And in regards to repatriation, which is a requirement if you are standing down or terminating the 482, 457 visa holder, you are required to repatriate them back to their country, which means paying an airfare for them. Obviously, that's not going to be, there's not going to be an ability to do that if there are no flights going back to that country. But you need to put something in writing so that perhaps when the travel ban does lift and lockdown comes off, then that's when you can organise for them to go back, if they are indeed going back. Otherwise, you may retain them once we do go back into, once business resumes as normal. So if there are any further questions, and you can't find the answers for, please do get in contact with us. Probably email is the best way at this stage, just due to the large volume of inquiries we are receiving. And our email is info@migrationdownunder.com. But look, I know it's challenging times for us all. We will get through it. Just remember, be kind, stay safe, and adhere to government instructions.